I want to talk to you today about something that burns inside so many of us, the desire for success. We all crave it, right? We dream about it, we see others achieving it, and we wonder, what's their secret? What am I missing? You see, success isn't just some magical gift bestowed upon a select few. It's not purely about being born with incredible talent or stumbling into a goldmine of luck. Those things can play a part, sure, but the real differentiator, the thing that separates the achievers from the dreamers, is something much deeper, something much more powerful. It's your mindset, it's the internal game you're playing every single day. So many people out there are brilliant, they're capable, they have incredible potential locked inside them, but they're stuck. They're not living the life they truly desire, not achieving those big, audacious goals. Why? Because they're unknowingly sabotaging themselves with patterns of thought and behavior that lead directly to failure. It's a tough pill to swallow, but understanding these patterns is the first, critical step to breaking free and unleashing your true power. It's about recognizing the invisible scripts that are running your life and deciding right now to rewrite them for massive success. Today, we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to dive deep into the 10 real, raw, and often uncomfortable reasons why people fail to achieve the success they so desperately want. This isn't about blame, it's about empowerment. Because once you identify these roadblocks, once you shine a light on them, you gain the power to dismantle them piece by piece. Are you ready to uncover what might be holding you back? Are you ready to make a change? Then let's get into it, because your breakthrough could be just one insight away. Alright, let's tackle the first giant, the one that stops so many incredible people dead in their tracks before they even take a single step: fear of failure. This isn't just a small worry. For many, it's a terrifying monster that whispers insidious lies in their ear. It tells them, don't even try, you're not good enough. Or what if you make a fool of yourself? What will people think? This fear paralyzes potential, it strangles ambition, and it keeps you locked in a cage of what-ifs and if-onlys. Think about it. How many dreams have died, unfulfilled, simply because someone was too afraid to take that initial leap? This fear is a master illusionist. It paints vivid pictures of catastrophic outcomes, of public humiliation, of devastating loss. It makes the thought of failing feel so overwhelmingly painful that inaction seems like the only sensible, safe choice. But here's the brutal truth I want you to internalize right now. Avoiding the possibility of failure by not trying is the only way to absolutely guarantee failure. You're failing by default. You're choosing a life of regret over the chance of triumph, all because of a feeling, an emotion, that you have the power to control and redirect. Success, real, meaningful success, is almost never a straight line. It's a messy, winding path filled with stumbles, setbacks, and yes, failures. But here's the distinction. Successful people don't see failure as a stop sign, they see it as a signpost. They understand that each failure is simply feedback, a lesson, an opportunity to learn, adjust, and come back stronger. They embrace the stumble because they know it's part of the dance of achievement. They're willing to look foolish in the short term to achieve greatness in the long term. Think about any great achiever in history. Do you think they got it right the first time? Every time? Absolutely not. They failed more times than most people even try. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television news. Their stories are not unique in their failures, but in their response to failure. They didn't let it define them, they let it refine them. So, the question isn't whether you'll encounter obstacles or make mistakes. You will. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let that fear dictate your destiny, keeping you small and safe? Or are you going to acknowledge the fear, feel it, and then step forward anyway? The antidote to the fear of failure isn't fearlessness, it's courage. It's the courage to try, the courage to learn, and the courage to get back up every single time you fall. Understand this, the pain of regret, the pain of looking back on your life knowing you didn't even try to reach for your dreams because you were scared. That pain is 1,000 times heavier and lasts 1,000 times longer than the temporary sting of any single failure. You have to decide which pain you're willing to endure. Choose the discomfort of growth over the false comfort of stagnation. Let's decide right now to starve our fears and feed our courage. Now, let's talk about the second major roadblock on the path to success, and this one is subtle but incredibly powerful: lack of discipline. We all have dreams, don't we? big, beautiful, exciting dreams of what we want to achieve, who we want to become, the impact we want to make. The dreaming part is easy, it's exhilarating, it fills us with passion and possibility. But dreams, my friends, without the engine of discipline are just fantasies. They're like a magnificent race car with no fuel in the tank. It looks great, but it's not going anywhere. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. It's the commitment to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And let's be honest, most of the time you're not going to feel like it. The initial burst of motivation will fade. The excitement will wane. That's when discipline has to kick in. It's about showing up on the cold, rainy mornings when your bed feels so warm and inviting. It's about making the tough calls, doing the tedious tasks, and pushing through the resistance when every fiber of your being wants to quit or procrastinate. Think about the truly successful people you admire. Do you think they rely solely on fleeting moments of inspiration? No. They have cultivated habits, routines, and a level of personal accountability that drives them forward day in and day out. They understand that success isn't built in giant leaps. It's built through the consistent application of small, disciplined actions repeated over time. It's the daily grind, the unglamorous work that happens behind the scenes that ultimately creates extraordinary results. It's the writer who commits to 500 words a day, even when the muse is silent. The challenge with discipline is that it requires you to choose long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. Our brains are often wired for immediate rewards. That piece of cake looks a lot more appealing right now than the long-term benefits of healthy eating. Sleeping in feels better in the moment than getting up early to work on your business. Discipline is about training your mind to override those instant gratification impulses and stay focused on the bigger picture, on the ultimate prize you're striving for. It's about delaying pleasure for a greater purpose. So how do you cultivate this essential trait? It starts with clarity on your why. Why is this goal so important to you? What will achieving it mean for your life, for your family, for your future? When your why is strong enough, you'll find the how. Then, it's about creating systems and structures that support your discipline. Break down your big goals into smaller, manageable daily or weekly tasks. Schedule these tasks into your calendar like non-negotiable appointments. Remove distractions. Create an environment that makes it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. Remember, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small if you have to. Commit to one small disciplined act today, then another tomorrow. Build that momentum. Celebrate your small wins. And when you slip up, because you will, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and get right back on track. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's the unwavering commitment to your future self, the self that has achieved those incredible dreams. Let's move on to the third saboteur of success, a cunning and insidious enemy that many of us battle daily: procrastination. Procrastination. It's often disguised as "I'll do it later," or "I work better under pressure," or "I just need to wait for the right moment." But let's call it what it is. It's the thief of time, the assassin of ambition, and the gravedigger of countless brilliant ideas. It's a habit that slowly, almost imperceptibly, erodes your potential and keeps your biggest goals perpetually out of reach. Why do we procrastinate? It's rarely about laziness. More often it's rooted in fear. Fear of failure, as we discussed, but also fear of success, fear of judgment, or even fear of the discomfort involved in tackling a challenging task. Sometimes it's about perfectionism. We delay starting because we're afraid we can't do it perfectly. Other times it's simply a lack of clarity or feeling overwhelmed by the sheer size of a project. Whatever the underlying reason, the result is the same: inaction. And inaction, my friends, is a one-way ticket to mediocrity. Think about the cumulative effect of procrastination. That task you put off today, it doesn't just disappear. It gets added to tomorrow's to-do list, which is already full. Soon you're facing a mountain of overdue tasks, and the feeling of overwhelm intensifies, making you even more likely to procrastinate. It's a vicious cycle that drains your energy, your confidence, and your enthusiasm. Every time you choose to delay, you're sending a message to your subconscious mind that your goals aren't truly important, that your commitments are negotiable. Successful people, on the other hand, have a bias for action. They understand the incredible power of momentum. They know that even a small step forward is better than standing still. They often employ strategies like the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Or they break down large, daunting projects into tiny, manageable steps, focusing only on the very next action. They don't wait for motivation to strike, they create motivation through action. The act of starting, even in a small way, often generates the energy and clarity needed to continue. One of the most powerful ways to combat procrastination is to connect with the cost of inaction. What are you truly losing by putting things off? Missed opportunities, strained relationships, financial stress, a life lived at a fraction of its potential? When the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the perceived pain of taking action, that's when true change happens. You have to make procrastination more painful than doing the work itself. Visualize the future you're creating by delaying, and contrast it with the future you could create by acting now. So, I challenge you, identify that one important thing you've been putting off, just one, and commit to taking the smallest possible action on it today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Feel the resistance, acknowledge it, and then push through it. Experience the satisfaction, however small, of making progress. This is how you break the habit of procrastination, one decisive action at a time. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step has to be taken, not just thought about. Alright, let's dive into the fourth critical reason why so many people find themselves adrift, never quite reaching the shores of success: a fundamental lack of clear goals. Imagine a ship setting sail without a map, without a compass, and without a specific destination in mind. Where do you think it will end up? It will be tossed around by the currents, blown off course by the winds, and ultimately, it will either drift aimlessly or crash upon some unknown shore. This is precisely what happens in life when you don't have clearly defined goals. Many people say they want success, or to be happy, or to make more money. These are wishes, they're desires, but they are not goals. They are too vague, too undefined. How will you know when you've achieved success if you haven't defined what it looks like for? How much more money is more money? Without specificity, you have no target to aim for, no benchmark against which to measure your progress, and no way to create a focused plan of action. You're essentially shooting arrows into the dark, hoping one of them magically hits something worthwhile. Clear goals provide direction. They act as your personal GPS, guiding your decisions, your actions, and your allocation of resources, your time, your energy, your money. When you have a crystal clear vision of what you want to achieve, it becomes much easier to say no to things that don't align with that vision, and yes to the opportunities that will move you closer. Your goals become the filter through which you evaluate every choice, every distraction, every potential path. They bring order and purpose to your daily activities. Furthermore, well-defined goals are a powerful source of motivation. When you have something specific and meaningful to strive for, something that truly excites you and resonates with your deepest values, it ignites a fire within you. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning, a reason to push through challenges, and a reason to persevere when things get tough. Vague aspirations don't have that kind of motivational pull, but a goal that you can see, feel, and almost taste, that's a game changer. It pulls you forward, even when the path is difficult. So how do you set effective goals? Think smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of "I want to be healthier," a smart goal would be, "I will lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months by exercising 4 times a week for 30 minutes and cutting out sugary drinks." See the difference? It's concrete, it's trackable, it's realistic, it aligns with a larger desire, being healthier, and it has a deadline. Write your goals down, make them visible, review them regularly. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a fundamental practice of high achievers. Don't just set outcome goals, what you want to achieve, set process goals too, the actions you need to take consistently to reach the outcome. If your outcome goal is to write a book, your process goals might be to write 500 words every day, or to research for 1 hour 3 times a week. Focusing on the process keeps you engaged in the journey and builds the habits necessary for long-term success. Take the time, invest the energy to get absolutely clear on what you want. Your future self will thank you for it. Without a destination, any road will do, but it likely won't lead you to the life you truly desire. We've arrived at the 5th major barrier to success, and this one operates from the inside out, a negative mindset. You can have all the talent in the world, the best strategies, the most supportive network, but if your internal dialogue is constantly filled with doubt, fear, and self-criticism, you are fundamentally sabotaging your own efforts. Your mindset is the lens through which you view yourself, your circumstances, and your potential. If that lens is smudged with negativity, everything will look bleak and unattainable. A negative mindset is like an anchor dragging behind your ship. It whispers, "You're not smart enough. You don't deserve success. This will never work, you'll just fail like you always do." These limiting beliefs, whether conscious or subconscious, become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe you can't, you'll find ways to prove yourself right. You'll hesitate, you'll self-destruct, you'll miss opportunities not because of external factors but because your internal state is programmed for failure. It's a powerful destructive force. Think about the energy that negativity consumes. Constantly worrying, complaining, focusing on what's wrong and anticipating the worst. It's exhausting. That mental and emotional energy could be channeled into problem solving, into creative thinking, into taking positive action. Instead, it's wasted on reinforcing a disempowering state. A negative mindset also repels opportunities and positive people. Who wants to collaborate with or support someone who is constantly radiating pessimism and defeat? Energy is contagious, and a negative vibe pushes success away. Conversely, a positive, empowering mindset is a success magnet. Believing in yourself, even when faced with setbacks, maintaining an optimistic outlook, and focusing on solutions rather than problems, these are hallmarks of those who achieve great things. This isn't about naive Pollyannaism, ignoring reality, it's about realistic optimism. It's about acknowledging challenges but believing in your ability to overcome them. It's about seeing failures as feedback and setbacks as temporary detours, not dead ends. Your attitude determines your altitude. Cultivating a positive mindset is an active, ongoing process. It starts with awareness, noticing your negative thought patterns. When you catch yourself engaging in self-defeating talk, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? What's a more empowering perspective? Practice gratitude daily. Focus on what you, not what you lack. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people. Feed your mind with uplifting content, books, podcasts, seminars. Protect your mental environment as fiercely as you would protect your physical health. Remember, your thoughts create your feelings drive your actions, and your actions create your results. It all starts with the quality of your thinking. You have the power to choose your thoughts. You might not be able to control every circumstance that comes your way, but you absolutely can control your response to those circumstances. Choose to cultivate a mindset of possibility, resilience, and unshakable belief in your own potential. This is not just a nice to have, it's a fundamental requirement for achieving the success you desire and deserve. Let's address the sixth crucial element that derails so many aspiring individuals: poor time management. Time is the one resource that is absolutely equal for everyone. We all get 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week. Billionaires, homeless individuals, presidents, and students, the clock ticks the same for all. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary things and those who constantly feel overwhelmed and unproductive often boils down to how they manage this finite, precious resource. If you're not mastering your time is mastering you. Poor time management isn't just about being disorganized or running late. It's about a fundamental lack of clarity on priorities, an inability to distinguish between the urgent and the important, and a tendency to get sucked into time-wasting activities that offer little to no return on your true goals. It manifests as constant firefighting, feeling busy but not productive, missing deadlines, and ultimately, failing to make significant progress on the things that truly matter for your long-term success and fulfillment. It's a recipe for stress and unfulfilled potential. Think about where your time actually goes. How much of it is spent on mindless scrolling through social media, binge-watching shows, or engaging in activities that don't align with your highest aspirations? These time bandits creep in subtly, stealing minutes and then hours that could have been invested in learning a new skill, working on your business, nurturing relationships, or improving your health. Without conscious control and deliberate allocation of your time, it will invariably be filled by the demands of others or by low-value distractions. Effective time management, on the other hand, is about intentionality. It's about making conscious choices about where to invest your time to get the maximum impact. Successful people are ruthless with their time. They understand the Pareto principle, that 80% of your results often come from 20% of your efforts, so they focus on identifying and executing those high-leverage activities. They plan their days and weeks in advance, They schedule their priorities, and they protect their focused work time fiercely. They treat time as the valuable, non-renewable asset that it is. How can you start to master your time instead of being a slave to it? Begin by auditing your time for a week. Track where every hour goes. You might be shocked by the results. Then, identify your most important tasks, the ones that will move the needle most significantly on your biggest goals. Schedule these big rocks into your calendar first, before it gets filled with less important things. Learn to say no to requests that don't align with your priorities. Batch similar tasks together. Minimize distractions by turning off notifications and creating a focused work environment. Remember, being busy is not the same as being productive. You can run around all day putting out fires and still end the day no closer to your dreams. The key is to work smarter, not just harder. It's about directing your energy and effort towards the activities that yield the greatest results. Take control of your time, and you take control of your life. Make every minute count, not by filling it with frantic activity, but by investing it wisely in the pursuit of what truly matters to you. This discipline will pay dividends for the rest of your life. Alright folks, let's dive into the 7th reason why people often stumble on their path to success: a profound inability to adapt. You know, if there's one thing you can absolutely count on in this world, it's change. Markets shift, technologies evolve, consumer preferences change, new competitors emerge, and unforeseen circumstances arise. And those who cling rigidly to outdated methods, old ways of thinking, or past successes, well, they're kind of like dinosaurs watching the meteor approach, destined for extinction in the landscape of progress. Adaptability, it's not just about surviving change, it's about thriving in it. It's all about being flexible, learning new skills, pivoting your strategy when necessary, and embracing new opportunities even when they feel, uncomfortable or unfamiliar. People who lack adaptability often resist change. They might say things like, "This is how we've always done it," or "That new approach will never work." This resistance, it stems from fear of the unknown, a desire for comfort and predictability, or sometimes just sheer stubbornness. But hey, the world doesn't wait for anyone to get comfortable. Think about businesses that failed to adapt. Blockbuster Video, in the age of streaming. Kodak, with the rise of digital photography. They were giants in their day, but their inability or unwillingness to change course in the face of new realities led to their downfall. The same principle applies to individuals. If your skills become obsolete and you're unwilling to learn new ones, if your industry changes and you refuse to adjust your approach, you're inevitably going to get left behind. Success in a dynamic world demands dynamic individuals. On the flip side, those who cultivate adaptability possess a powerful advantage. They see change not as a threat but as an opportunity. They're curious, open-minded, and willing to experiment. They understand that what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, and they're constantly scanning the horizon for new trends and insights. They're resilient, able to bounce back from setbacks that arise from changing conditions, learn from them, and adjust their sails accordingly. This mental flexibility, it's a hallmark of long-term achievers. So, you might be wondering, how do you foster greater adaptability in yourself? Start by embracing a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This makes you more open to learning and trying new things. Actively seek out new information and diverse perspectives. Challenge your own assumptions regularly. Step outside your comfort zone intentionally, and practice dealing with uncertainty. Develop your problem-solving skills, so you feel more confident tackling unforeseen challenges. Remember, nature itself teaches us the power of adaptation. Species that adapt to their changing environments survive and flourish. Those that don't, perish. The same is true in the world of personal and professional achievement. Don't let rigidity be the anchor that holds you back. Cultivate the suppleness of a willow tree that bends in the wind, rather than the brittleness of an oak that snaps. Your ability to adapt, to evolve, to reinvent yourself when necessary, will be one of your greatest assets in the ever-changing journey towards lasting success. Let's explore the 8th significant hurdle that prevents many from reaching their full potential: a lack of networking, or more broadly, a failure to build and nurture meaningful relationships. There's a pervasive myth of the lone wolf genius who achieves success entirely on their own. While individual brilliance and hard work are crucial, the reality is that sustainable, significant success is very rarely a solo endeavor. It's a team sport. Your network is your net worth, not just financially but in terms of support, opportunities, and knowledge. Many people shy away from networking because they perceive it as sleazy, transactional, or inauthentic, just collecting business cards or trying to use people, or perhaps they're introverted and find it uncomfortable. But true networking isn't about that. It's about building genuine connections, fostering mutual respect, and finding ways to add value to others' lives. It's about creating a community of support, collaboration, and shared learning. When you isolate yourself, you limit your access to new ideas, different perspectives, crucial feedback, and unforeseen opportunities. Think about the power of a strong network. It can provide you with mentors who can guide you and share their wisdom, preventing you from making costly mistakes. It can connect you with collaborators who have complementary skills, allowing you to achieve things you couldn't do alone. It can open doors to new clients, new job opportunities, or new ventures that you wouldn't have otherwise known about. It can offer emotional support and encouragement during challenging times, reminding you that you're not alone in your struggles. Furthermore, the people you surround yourself with profoundly influence your mindset, your habits, and your aspirations. If you're constantly around negative, unmotivated individuals, their energy will inevitably rub off on you. Conversely, if you surround yourself with ambitious, positive, growth-oriented people, their drive and optimism will inspire and elevate you. Your network acts as an incubator for your own growth and development. You become like the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. So how do you build and maintain a strong, supportive network? It starts with being genuinely interested in other people. Ask questions, listen actively, and seek to understand their goals and challenges. Look for ways to help others without expecting anything immediately in return. Generosity and a willingness to contribute value are magnetic. Attend industry events, join relevant groups or masterminds, and leverage online platforms, but focus on quality of connection over quantity of contacts. Nurture your existing relationships. A simple check-in can go a long way. Remember, networking isn't a one-time activity, it's an ongoing process of giving and receiving, of building bridges and fostering community. Don't wait until you have something to start building relationships. Invest in your network consistently, authentically, and generously. The connections you make, the support you give and receive, will become an invaluable asset, a safety net, and a launching pad for your success. No one achieves great things in a vacuum. We all need each other. We're nearing the end of our list, and the 9th reason people fail to achieve the success they desire is a pervasive tendency towards avoiding risks. In a world that often emphasizes security and predictability, the idea of taking risks can feel daunting, even reckless. Many people opt for the perceived safety of the familiar, the comfort of the known, choosing paths that offer minimal chance of failure, but also, consequently, minimal chance of significant reward or growth. They live in the harbor, never venturing out to see what treasures the open ocean might hold. But here's a fundamental truth. All progress, all innovation, all extraordinary achievement involves some element of risk. Whether it's starting a new business, investing in a new idea, changing careers, speaking your truth, or even pursuing a deep personal relationship, there's always a chance it might not work out as planned. There's a chance of loss, of disappointment, of criticism. Those who are unwilling to face these possibilities condemn themselves to a life of mediocrity, forever wondering what if. It's crucial to distinguish between foolish, reckless gambles and calculated, intelligent risks. Successful people aren't typically reckless daredevils. They don't bet the farm on a whim. Instead, they become adept at assessing potential risks and rewards. They do their due diligence. They gather information, they weigh the potential downsides against the potential upsides, and they develop contingency plans. But ultimately, they are willing to step into uncertainty, understanding that growth and opportunity lie just beyond the boundaries of their current comfort zone. The comfort zone, while feeling safe, is actually a dangerous place for ambition. It's where dreams go to die a slow, quiet death. By consistently avoiding risks, you stagnate. You don't develop new skills, you don't build resilience, and you don't discover your true capabilities. Every time you shy away from a calculated risk that could propel you forward, you reinforce a pattern of fear and limitation. You teach yourself that safety is more important than aspiration, that avoiding pain is preferable to pursuing potential. Think about the biggest breakthroughs in your own life or in the world around you. Were they born from playing it safe, or did they emerge from someone daring to try something new, something uncertain, something that others might have deemed too risky? The courage to take thoughtful risks is what separates leaders from followers, innovators from imitators, and high achievers from the perpetually average. It's about being willing to fail, learn, and try again, armed with new knowledge. So I ask you, where in your life are you playing it too safe? What calculated risks could you take starting today that have the potential to move you significantly closer to your goals? It doesn't have to be a massive leap all at once. It could be as simple as speaking up in a meeting, pitching a new idea, investing in a course, or reaching out to a potential mentor. Start small, build your risk-taking muscle, and learn to embrace the discomfort that often accompanies growth. Remember, the biggest risk of all is often the risk of doing nothing, of letting your potential wither on the vine. And finally, we arrive at the 10th, and perhaps one of the most heartbreaking reasons people fail at success: they simply give up too soon. How many stories have we heard? How many times have we witnessed individuals who were on the very cusp of a major breakthrough, who had endured so much, only to throw in the towel moments before their efforts were about to pay off? It's like digging for gold and stopping just 3 feet short of the vein. It's a tragedy of persistence, or rather, the lack thereof. The journey to any worthwhile achievement is rarely smooth or quick. It's often fraught with challenges, setbacks, frustrations, and moments where it feels like you're making no progress at all. These are the testing grounds. These are the moments that separate those who truly want it from those who merely for it. It's easy to be enthusiastic at the starting line, but it's the grit, the tenacity, the unwavering perseverance to keep going when things get tough that ultimately determines who crosses the finish line. Many people underestimate the sheer amount of sustained effort and resilience required to achieve significant goals. They expect results too quickly, and when those results don't materialize according to their imagined timeline, they become discouraged, disillusioned, and then they quit. They misinterpret temporary defeat as permanent failure. They don't realize that often the darkest hour is just before the dawn, and that the greatest resistance often comes right before the biggest breakthrough. Think about the power of persistence. Calvin Coolidge famously said, "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not, genius will not, education will not. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." It's the ability to get knocked down 7 times and get up 8. It's the refusal to let obstacles define your limits. It's the deep-seated belief in your vision and your ability to eventually achieve it, no matter how many detours or delays you encounter along the way. So, how do you cultivate this unstoppable persistence? First, you need that burning why we talked about earlier, a reason so compelling that it fuels you through the inevitable tough times. Second, break your big goals into smaller, manageable milestones. Celebrate each small victory along the way to maintain momentum and morale. Third, expect setbacks. See them not as failures but as part of the process, as opportunities to learn and adjust. Develop resilience by reframing challenges and focusing on solutions. And crucially, surround yourself with a support system that encourages you to keep going. Sometimes, when your own belief wavers, the encouragement of others can be the lifeline you need. Don't let temporary discouragement rob you of your ultimate triumph. Before you decide to give up, ask yourself, have I truly exhausted all possibilities? What's one more thing I can try? What if my breakthrough is just around the next corner? More often than not, success is closer than you think, but it only reveals itself to those who refuse to quit. So there you have it, 10 powerful reasons why so many fall short of the success they dream of. But listen to me, this isn't about feeling bad or getting discouraged. No, this is about igniting a fire within you. It's about recognizing these patterns, these potential pitfalls, not as a sentence to failure, but as an invitation to step up, to change your strategy, to elevate your mindset, and to reclaim your power. You have the ability, right now, in this moment, to decide that these reasons will not be your story. You can choose a different path. The truth is, success isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone who is willing to do the work, to cultivate the discipline, to face their fears, to set clear goals, to maintain a positive and resilient mindset, and to persist in the face of adversity. It's about making a decision, a real gut-level decision, that your dreams are non-negotiable, that your potential will not be wasted, What one person can do, another can do. If others have overcome these challenges, so can you. It's about finding that leverage within yourself to make the changes that will change everything. Don't let another day, another week, another year go by living below your potential. Take these insights, identify which of these reasons might be holding you back, and commit with every fiber of your being to addressing them. Start today. Take one small decisive action. Build momentum. Unleash that incredible power that resides within you. You were not born to fail. You were born to achieve, to contribute, to live a life of passion, purpose, and fulfillment. Now go out there and make it happen. I believe in you.